Okay, so I'm going to take a moment and talk about your girl Tomi. So, I was in the process of writing a blog post, and then I was like, okay, no, that's going to take too much energy. But then I still ended up finding myself writing a Facebook post. I'm going to just kind of express my utmost feelings at this moment about this topic. I am very unaware of who decided giving her a show would be a great idea. But, you know, she has a right to have her own show, just like I have a right to have my channel and my social media and all that stuff. Cool. You have your opinions, I will have mine. But what I'm going to do is pretty much demolish what she had to say about the North Dakota pipeline. Her whole stance is that, you know, she's from South Dakota, she has a family in North Dakota, and the reason why she wanted her show was because people in the Dakotas never had representation. No one ever talked about the Dakotas until the pipeline and all of that stuff, right? Cool, whatever. Be your voice for your people. That's fine. But I would hope that not everyone in North Dakota and South Dakota are as ignorant as you. I'm just gonna put that out there. Here we go. So she made a comment about the pipeline saying, let's be clear, the pipeline is not on tribal land. Let's take a moment to think about how America became the Americas. A bunch of people on a fucking boat came over to America and decided, hey, we're gonna kill off all the people, steal all of their livestock, rape their land, their culture, their people, and make it the best place on America, or best place on earth, right? And make it America. Make America great, right? So when you say something is not tribal land, you're highly mistaken, because at the end of the day, this is their land, and if they wanted to revolt, now there's significantly more power, and if they just went around slaughtering and giving smallpox and all that stuff to people, it would be a little bit of an issue. If they wanted to reclaim their land, it would be a problem. So to say that something's not their land and they don't have the right to fight for their water supply, it's just beyond me. Saying, oh, well, it's 92 feet below the river. I want you to kind of get a grasp of how big 92 feet is. It's really not that big. You wouldn't live in a 92 square foot apartment. 92 feet, you don't even realize you walk it in a day. Like, honestly, that's about 92 steps. So to say that you don't have to worry about it because your water does not come from that water supply. Your water comes from like sparklets or something like that, right? Or you're probably a Fuji or a whatever, a Fiji or a fucking Voss water girl. So you don't worry about that because that doesn't affect you, right? That doesn't affect your crops and your animals and all that stuff, because your food is all mass produced by the white people, right? But 92 feet is not a substantial distance. So to say that, oh, you know, they're making sure the people that are backing this oil pipeline are making sure that they do everything they can to prevent contamination and leakage. Y'all remember the BP spill, or we just forgot about that? We're not gonna talk about that. Oil is not something that's been new for years, but we still have, like, shit still happens, right? So the idea that a river could be contaminated for a substantial amount of time, and they wouldn't be able to recover very well from that is kind of a big deal. But, you know, it's not on tribal land, supposedly, by your definition of what tribal land is. And then we're going to continue on to her upsetness, her anger. I don't know why she is an angry woman, and I don't know who is feeding her. I feel like she's being fed a lot of information, and she is almost like a scapegoat for a lot of people. They're like, you know what we can do? We can make this pretty blonde woman the spokesperson of the alt-right and the right wing. That's what I feel, truthfully, is kind of what happened, right? Dear Lord. We're going to talk about the fact that she was outraged and upset that people of the native people went and destroyed private property, burned tires in field, and all of this other stuff, right? Private property. We're gonna go back to what I just said about the land being theirs and being stolen from them. So like when you say, you know, there's private property and you're upset about it, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're upset that they no longer have their land or their ancestors, and you know that they're kind of dwindling down to nothing because, you know, the mass genocide. And I'm pretty sure that burning tires is nothing in comparison to having contaminated water or having their ancestors killed by blankets and smallpox and woo, Thanksgiving pilgrims happiness, right? Or America celebrating Columbus Day. I mean, I'm just saying there's certain things where we like to pick and choose and say, okay, it's fine, it's not that big of a deal, you know, but you should not do this because it affects my people. Let me tell you what. They have the right to be upset about the pipeline. Just like you would be pissed off if the fucking belt line that we call here in Atlanta came, or not the belt line, or like a MARTA track came right down, a trolley came right down in the middle of your community. You would be upset about it. Why? Because not only is it not necessarily like the best thing for the community, it wouldn't fit your interest. You're like, well, this doesn't benefit me, the public transportation in the middle of my suburbia, down the middle of my street. But that's just kind of how I feel at this moment. That is going to be a little bit, that's just it. That's it. I'm not going to go any further because I can go on and on and on because a woman irks my soul and I don't get where this following came from. I don't know who gave her the show. I don't know who gave her a setup and a set and who decided, cool, let's put this TV show on Facebook and make it the best thing ever. And I don't know who's supporting her. And it's okay. You can support her. You can agree with her. But I have the right to disagree, and you can't say anything because we clearly can't say anything about her, right? As in her own words, she's using her First Amendment to disagree with other people's First Amendment rights. So I'm using my First Amendment to disagree with her First Amendment. Well, bye.